Who is Derrick?
Man, Derrick is a natural born leader. Someone that is going to always be honest, always be genuine, true to themselves, and someone who is continuously seeking their purpose and overall journey in life and what I was destined to do. I see how music directly changes people's behaviors, energy levels, whether that's positive. And I feel like that it's a part of my duty to be able to entertain and provide people that type of energy. It took me from playing in a 200 seat auditorium to, jazz to classical music, playing in Champaign-Urbana, performing at Purdue University's Jazz Festival. Going into college, I think what was nice is that it created more of a hybrid experience, also branching outside of kind of the bubble that I was in, right? I was so accustomed to playing with bands, playing in different groups and ensembles, but I said, how do I step into my own independent artistry? Jams, the Flavor Child in particular, we met 3 years ago. I was working at Adidas. I just kind of asked him, what do you do? And when he said music, that automatically made me say, oh, well, this is a great networking opportunity. I told him I play sax. He was like, man, I rap. I said, yo, that's what's up, and from there, it was just, he told me, send me some videos you got. So I sent him some of my YouTube clips. I was doing a studio session for about 3 or 4 hours. Next thing I know, I'm turning my head and Jams is handing me a check, and I'm like, man, what is this? It's crazy.
My shoulder, life is energy. You can't control it. Waves crash in the ocean, rising to the shore.
With a friend, he was someone that was really just starting to, come on the rise. We performed for him in Chicago. We actually opened for him at the time. So that was kind of the beginning phase of us saying, okay, Coda is someone who's picking up momentum. We should try to collaborate with someone who is picking up that type of momentum, is getting good coverage. This is an opportunity of a lifetime. That's the way I looked at it. This is my passion. This is what I love doing. And I can't pass up on this moment. So the first show, we took a 5-6 hour drive down to Nashville, Tennessee. We get there that night, we kind of settle in. We got all of our equipment together, and we were thinking about doing a mini rehearsal that night, but we were dead. I don't think we really rehearsed that first night. So the next day, we woke up bright and early and just kind of prepared ourselves for the show that whole day. DJing, it was totally new to me. It wasn't something that I had been doing for years. And I really remember having to think about it a lot, just how am I gonna work through this, while we're on stage. So I remember we did a set, before the performance started, and we had 3 or 4 songs that we would always do to just kind of get us in the pocket, get the crowd going. I was like, yo, make some noise if y'all ready for Jams the Flavor Child. Make some noise. And the crowd was getting into it, so I'm like, man, this is great. And it was just kind of getting accustomed to that role of okay, I'm gonna be hype man, but then okay, get ready because you got to pick that sax up in a minute.
You ready? 1, 2, 1, 2. I usually keep this in Jesus. Right now you're all that I need. I know that it's almost like I shouldn't be calling for ring. I usually keep this in Jesus. Right now you're all that I need. I know that it's almost like I shouldn't be calling for ring. I'm intrigued.
When we started performing, Neto could hear it better than I could from where I was. He was like, turn up your high, lower your bass. It's too much bass, right? And, I'm trying to make adjustments, but at the same time, I couldn't quite hear what he was hearing from a sound perspective.
It'd be mad cool if they could see these lights in Chicago. Yeah. You ever had something that was meant to be that doesn't work out the way you want it? Doesn't feel right, I can never go to sleep. The connection irreplaceable when it's this deep. Thinking what could be all the possibility.
Transition wise, like I was having trouble getting the tracks to flow how I wanted them to. So like it not working how I was anticipating it working, and it kind of, you know, threw me off guard, and I tried to not show that, you know, to the crowd. The next show was 2 days after. So we got up that morning, made our drive down to Kansas City, actually. Once we got up that morning, right, in Tennessee, Jams had pulled myself and Neto to the side and said, hey man, let's come back, let's execute and do what we do best. I think it's best that, you know, we have Neto facilitating the tracks because he's able to hear the sound a little bit better. And I didn't take that personal. I felt like, okay, this is something we can now build off of. That allowed our sound to just be 10 times better than what it was originally. And during the show, he's able to make adjustments. That allowed me to focus specifically on just, okay, those first 10 minutes when we're all getting on stage before Jams hops on, my job is just to hype up this crowd. I don't have to worry about, transitioning to tracks and doing the hyping, right? So Neto's transitioning, I'm setting up my sax, I grab the mic, I'm like, yo, Kansas City, make some noise. And everybody's just getting hyped. They're like, yeah, like, what's up? I'm shaking people's hands. I'm like, yo, what's good? And the last track that we did was All Right by Kendrick Lamar, you know. And if God got us, then we gonna be all right. And when that thing dropped, like the whole crowd just went crazy. Like, I mean, crazy.
I'm fucked up, you fucked up, but if God got us, we gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright.
I don't feel at home when I'm at home. I feel at home when I'm on the microphone. I'm never alone. I got the homies wherever I go. We go on tour and then we come home. But home don't feel like home. Home don't feel like home. Whoa, Home isn't where you are, it's who you with. I share these memories just like I share the split. She fucking with me cause she know I make hits. If you don't got real love, I don't want that shit. Home isn't where you are, it's who you with. I share these memories just like I.
It's a beautiful city, a special city. I appreciate you guys having me. It's a lot of hip-hop history in this motherfucker. And thank you for extending your home to me. Thank you for making me feel like home. And thank you for having a good time with me. I had a great time with you guys, for real.
At the Kansas City, like, we felt like we were on top of the world, honestly. Like, we understood our roles at that point. We understood how we wanted to be coming into the building, how we wanted to prepare, et cetera, et cetera. I felt like a superstar, and I was like, man, I belong here, you know? And it was incredible. As far as what's to come for me, it's now creating my own, right? I've went through all these different experiences. I've been on tour. I've performed with bands. I've worked with different artists, right? I've paid for my band members' Uber rides to get there just because I wanted the situation to be right. Like, that's how much time I've devoted to this. And I understand, like, why I want this to be what I ultimately do for the rest of my life. For me, it's about creating my own now, creating my own legacy. And the way I do that is by creating my own path through music. I'll continue to improvise, be the entertainer, be the energy that I see people gravitate to. Really breathe the universal language of our society, and that's music.